Welcome everybody to Wolves After Dark. We forced a game 7. That's all that counts. And not only did we force a game 7, we did it by like 50 points. But the Timberwolves win, force a game 7, as I mentioned. Final score was 115-70. So we did keep them to 70 or less. That's pretty amazing. Like the stream if you're new. If you're a Nuggets fan, you can like it, but leave nice comments. Because here's the thing. We were very positive about the Nuggets, I feel like, in the last show. And boy, did we get raided by Nuggets fans. I didn't even look at half the comments because there were so many. But I did turn ads on for that last one so that they had to watch the ads because it was primarily Nuggets fans. But so thanks for the 5 cents. Anyways, Doomers can go to Bronze Farm. Oh my goodness, yes. So we're not going to talk about that on stream, but I agree, especially not in the first 10 minutes. Crone, thank you for the 5 gifted. Look at this, everybody in the chat. Appreciate you for showing up. Like the stream if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't. We're over 1,600 subscribers, guys. We started at like 250, by the way, this year. Insane. Cool. Timberwolves win. Wolves in 7 is possible. We'll get to the conversations about what we think, and we're going to do the tier list as always. We're going to recap the game here shortly, kind of go through our first initial reactions. Again, this is something we do literally. I mean, the game ended 3 minutes ago, so this is quick initial reactions. So there might be some overreactions, might be some hashtag analytics. There might be some wild takes. But Ashwin, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I feel like it's a series for a reason. It's a 7-game series for a reason. You can bounce back after losses. You can take one game and really extrapolate it and make that the DNA of your team, but it doesn't really actually, encompass the full story of the narrative of the series.
Yep.
The series was like almost destined to be 7. I feel a little bullish when we swept the Suns that it was going to be this way, especially after game 2.
Yeah.
Wow, back to form. Game 2 came right back. I felt like we hurried Denver. Our defense fueled our offense. Jamal Murray was a drop in the bucket, and all their others weren't like shooting lights out. The Gordons, the KCPs, their others. The bench did nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their bench had 0 points for like an entire quarter or something. I don't know. It was a very long time.
Yeah, like 2 points until like the bench mob came in and they scored like 10 points.
Yeah.
We just played our size. We played to our advantages. We played to our strengths. I felt like we had some really fun action. And also, just you got to shout out Mike Conley. His presence being back.
Huge.
Did wonders for Ant's energy throughout the game. You go in game 5 in Denver, losing Gobert, 48-hour notice, and Ant has to bring the ball up and getting double teamed. It's like exhausting. And you're in Denver, right? So altitude. So, okay. He has to do so much and score and defend Murray, right? So it felt like there was so much pressure for him. And I thought he did decently, but not, we were expecting greatness, right? We saw it tonight. We saw him clamp Jamal Murray into oblivion. And maybe Jamal Murray was injured or whatever, but that's them's the breaks.
That was weird. Yeah, that was weird.
While that was unfortunate to see if you're a Denver fan, it's just like that just happens. Cat played outstanding defense in that first quarter. Hurried Jokic, pushed Jokic out of where he wanted to be.
He really did. I loved his defense in the first quarter, especially. Oh my goodness, what a way to set the tone!
I know, totally.
We've been harping on Towns for years now, but that was a moment of because in previous years we've seen Towns be able to, and this is before championship Jokic. This was 4 or 5 years ago. Towns usually guarded him pretty well when he was the center for us. And he usually played well against Jokic too. It's only until recently has it been more of a struggle for Towns and the team as a whole. It was. I love that out of Towns early. Sorry, I interrupted. But yes, that was.
You didn't really interrupt me. And their others didn't come to play, or if they did, they weren't really noticeable. They didn't have an impact. The Gordon dunks, the the Jokic strips and the transition layups and all that really impacts our morale. And then when our shots don't go, the Jaden, discipline relaxes, not hitting threes. He relaxes, becomes irrelevant on defense, to an extent where all of that fuels. And it's kind of so funny, the tit for tat nature of offense fuels our defense, defense fuels our offense. It might be a game by game kind of story where it's like our defense fueled our offense in this game. It was 9-2, and we just like put the clamps on. We had a timeout, turned the defense up, and they were hurried. They were rushed. They looked awful. They did not look like a tough team in that first quarter. And I felt like that 20-0 run. I was waiting for them to call timeout. I was waiting for them to like get a set, and that never happened. It was so crazy to see, and like bow down to the confidence level of like what we could do after losing 3 straight. We respond well to adversity. We respond well after losses, and it was just a big team effort because no one person took over this game. It was like every single one had their impact in their moment, and even like, oh my God, I don't even know why Slow-Mo was in the game, but even that moment where Slow-Mo was in the game, the lead kind of dropped down. We were able to sustain that mini run, and we built it back up. I can't believe what we saw. We like almost won by 50. We had a 50-point lead at one point. It just seemed like they were so dejected. They found no rhythm, and holy crap! I'll stop now because
guys, wait.
I am at a loss for words.
We have a guest. Surprise guest. Everybody guess in chat who it is. But in 5, 4, 3,
we're countdown.
2, 1.5,
1 3/4,
1.25. Okay, boom. Hey, it's Coop. Whoa, crazy formatting. Let's figure that out.
I bet everyone was expecting like Anthony Edwards or Chris Finch or something, but no.
We put them on the side for you.
It's me. Hello, everybody.
It's you. Welcome back.
Dude, shower him with love.
Look at that, huh?
Look at that
How
jersey.
Yeah, from the stadium itself.
I like Scooper. You were,
It's outdated now because Anthony Edwards changed his number on me, but like, whatever, man.
It's the same jersey, actually.
What a game, huh? How about that?
What a game. Incredible. Unreal. I was expecting us to come out with some fight, but I really, the past 3 games have just convinced me that the Nuggets are like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're done messing around. We were just doing that for the entire season. We're going to start taking it seriously now that the Wolves seem to care. And so I thought, they might let us have like a little bit of a lead in the beginning and then come back. If anybody in the Discord saw, I wasn't comfortable until I was like 49-point lead.
Until Luka Garza hit that 3, then it was like, all right.
I mean, the Luka Garza 3 was good. If Wendell Moore was going to hit something, I was like, okay, we're winning it in 7. But no, this was just a great way to bounce back. Obviously, you can't take too much. I mean, you can take some momentum of this going into the game 7, but
I'm taking all of it.
You got to take this game 7 seriously and not think that they're gonna back down. But Cooper, you're the guest. How are you feeling after this now?
Good. I didn't have any drinks, so I'm completely sober tonight. I promise. It was, some thought as to I might come on here and just be the worst possible person ever if they would have lost. But no, we're done. We're good. I'm ready. It was fun. I'll hang out for a little bit, but not too long. But man, that was outstanding. I mean, I barely even remember everything that happened just because it was all just. It'll all come back to me, but I'm just in a fog of like do you guys swear on here?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That was fucking awesome. Like, come on. I mean, again, like, like Cam said, I went into this game kind of like, if they lose, it'll suck. But if they can at least hang in there and lose, at least we can take solace in the fact that it was a fun season. They won by 40, 50? I mean, oh my God.
40-50. Yep.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. And Anthony Edwards, Gobert, and Towns, like they were great.
They were great.
But man, it was everyone else.
Yep.
And I've been screaming it, like everyone's been complaining about Carl, Rudy, all that. Like they haven't been great, but the role players. Just there was a sequence last game where, you guys complain about Cat, but so do I. But like I didn't. But there was a sequence last game. The Wolves were down 10 or something. Yep. Jaden clanks a 3. KCP nails a 3. They go back. Nah misses a 3, and then Holiday nails a 3. They're down 16. They could be down 4 if the Wolves bench players are hitting their shots. So to me, this series is all about the role players. And tonight, I was proven right. So
Game 6, Jaden underrated. Yeah. He has been kind of crazy in Game 6s. And tonight he showed up. You brought it up. He was hitting 3s tonight, playing amazing defense. He had that amazing like stuff block. I think in the second quarter, I don't remember. But no, Jaden
Discord.
finally hit some shots. He was 8 of 10 tonight, 3 of 5 from 3. I mean, given they were all wide open. But he's been missing those. So
Well, they were daring him to shoot, and finally
exactly.
paid off.
He did what Aaron Gordon has done to us this entire series. So we had to do that. It is kind of interesting. I think pretty much all Wolves fans were maybe somewhat still like optimistic, or maybe not optimistic, but hopeful that we could still like win game 6 and give ourselves a chance in game 7. The thing about this winning game 6 is that, I was just talking about how you don't want to take too much like momentum, or you can take momentum, but you don't want to take like, you don't want to take.
You don't want to like relax. You don't want to relax.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
However, 2 things happened tonight. One, the Wolves shot pretty good and got some players that don't typically like Jaden going. And almost everyone on Denver had a bad night besides maybe Jokic. So now they kind of have a weird, like they just had this high for 3 games and now they're kind of dipping back down. We just had this low for 3 games. We're going back up. It kind of gives us not just like momentum, like just because we won, but our players now, now they have to close out to Jaden maybe. Because if Jaden's going to be hitting threes and making shots like he did tonight, that's the problem. Also, our defense, both Ant and Jaden, were on everyone at a point, bothering everybody. So it just gets in their heads a little bit. It's just an interesting development, and that's the great thing about, unfortunately, being down 3-2 going into tonight. But it gives us somewhat of an upper hand going into the game 7. I think, even though it is away at Denver. So. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like there's a chance, but this also could be Minnesota sports just giving me enough hope to break me down one more time.
No,
all
it's
you can
different.
really
It's different.
have is hope, though, and a chance. We have a chance at Game 7. We're flying out to Denver now, so the altitude is not going to really affect us, I hope. And I feel like Game 7, this is what Ant is made for. This is what dreams are. Like kind of you want that last shot.
Movies.
Whoa, that's what movies is made of.
This is what movies.
You're like,
Also,
this is what movies is made of.
Also, losing in 7 while on the road is so much. It would suck. It's gonna suck if they do, but like losing in 7 is so much better than losing 4 in a row and being closed out at home.
Totally.
And being like, to me, it'd be a doomer for just a second. Winning this game 6 after losing 3 straight and seeming essentially, I mean, like fans were deflated, players were deflated after the last game. I did not have the same excitement level coming into this game, so I can assume many people didn't. But to win this game is big. I mean, it shows that you're close to even with Denver, and that you didn't just let 3 games in a row of being pretty much dominated get to you. And that's growth for the Timberwolves, because this has been a problem for us, and not being able to, once the going gets tough, it's hard for us to kind of get back going. And this whole season we've been pretty lucky because we've never lost more than 2 games in a row until literally a game ago. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing. Even if we lose game 7, this is a promising sign for this team maturity wise. And I'll take that as a minimum.
Dude, I'm confident here. Like, we're making shots now. Jaden's feeling himself in the series now. He's no longer lost his confidence. Nah hit his shot. Like, we were looking for that in games 5 and 4. Like, where are the shots coming from our bench? Maybe Nas didn't have his best game, but he was playing more with pace, and I thought he had the ball in his hands a decent amount and was able to distribute too. The fact that Conley's back and he didn't look hobbled, the fact that Nas was able to distribute a little bit, and Gobert wasn't an afterthought. He was really like impacting the defense, like really like elevates and accents all of our like the reasons why we're a bigger, stronger, potentially better team than the Nuggets. Now the Nuggets they've lost miserably tonight. They're gonna like blame the elbow. They're gonna blame a couple of nonsense. They're gonna blame like, oh, they weren't ready or whatever. That's what they're gonna say.
They look dejected on the bench.
They look out.
It wasn't like we'll go home. It was like the series is over kind of a look. I was surprised. I thought they would be like, well, brush it off. But
it goes more than like, there's a lot of that was just, the Wolves finally had some luck in the shooting, but the offensive rebounding, just the overall aggressiveness, the loose balls, like it was so much more than just, the Nuggets went cold and the Wolves got hot. That's a big part of it. We were due for a night like this with shooting, but if the shooting is even, the Wolves maybe only win by 30 points, but they won by 50 because they were also winning the hustle battle. And man, different
That's
team
true.
out there tonight. Nuggets were
Oh
just.
my god.
I think they thought they had it, man. They thought shit was sweet out there, man. I don't know.
They
So
did. And I think they came into this game not with the and I mean, like, this could be said about anybody, I guess, but I feel like they came into the game not with like a mentality of, you know what, let's try to steal it, and then if we don't, we'll do it at home. I feel like they came into this game, the way they were playing early to me seemed like, hey, we're winning this game. We do not care like how it happens. We're gonna make it ugly. We're gonna win, and it like because right off the bat they're up 9-2 or whatever. They took this game very seriously, and then you're right, they couldn't make shots. We did make some shots. I mean, we didn't shoot like lights out necessarily. I mean, we shot
fair.
I think 46%.
3-point
They
at
shot
one point was like Nuggets were like 3 for 17. The Wolves were like 4 for 17. It was like
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a difference.
They ended up 7 of 36 from 3, and we were 15 of 40.
Yeah, but it
So
didn't jump till they were up by like 30. So that's not the reason
Yeah.
they won, which is crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. The other thing that I wanted to mention, Mike Malone, I think, and I'm sounding like such a doomer or whatever. Mike Malone gives the Timberwolves way too much credit because he called off the team early fourth quarter. I understand they were down by 30,
Oh,
but
that's what you're
like,
saying. Okay.
like they can easily. I mean, they have a roster where if a couple guys get hot, it's really difficult to stop
This
them.
is a
I'm not
crazy
saying that they
take.
would
I'm
have
sorry.
won.
This is
Yeah,
they
this
were
is a
down
crazy
like
take,
40.
David.
Like, come on.
It was 30, not 40. But also, game one, he called it off with 20 seconds, and they were only down by 8. Like, I don't understand. Like, I think, and if you listen to his interviews, he's always like, "Yeah, we got to give him like we got to take him really seriously. Like, they're a very scary team." But like that doesn't mean give up when it's like when you think it's over. It just seems so strange to me. I would be really upset, especially that first game where where he gave up with 20 seconds to go. That seemed crazy to me. This one's a little less bad, but still, I don't know. I feel like I'd still fight, I guess. But as Wombo Combo says, this is an L take.
Yeah, I potentially agree with Wombo Combo. Sorry, there, Cameron.
The Nuggets are banged up, kind of like I don't know. You're down 30. You got to go win Game 7 at home. They weren't coming back tonight. It's like it's weird to have whoever the hell was out there playing for the Nuggets for the last 10 minutes, but
they don't have like a burst heavy team. Like maybe they have a couple shot makers there here and there, but they weren't making their shots tonight. And Jokic is a primarily ball handler, takes his time, surveys the defense, and bullies in. That's like what, like 8 minutes of their offense right there. So that's like already all of the time left in the game. I wanted to quickly just shout out like all our bigs tonight. All the plus minus story sometimes doesn't really tell the true story, but it's very accurate. Like the Ant plus 43. Cat played remarkably, plus 25, probably best of his series for sure. He looked great. And honestly, I really vibe with momentum plays. There was a Jaden double hand block. There was a couple jams by Gobert and like an Ant dunk, right? Transition dunk and all that stuff. We didn't see any of that from Denver. And also, we didn't kill ourselves. We didn't have those offensive fouls that turn into translation into, second fast break points and second chance points. We nipped all that in the butt. We only had like 5 or 6 turnovers all game. And I really think that we played our brand, as like Kat loves to talk about in his interviews. And
you guys.
What is our brand? What is our brand about?
What is our brand?
Like you said that for 5 years. What is
put 10 toes down? Cooper.
No, I love it. Gotta get Cat. Was he good tonight? He was like,
he was great.
He missed his threes though.
Yeah. That was which is like the only thing I want more with Carl at this point. Just shoot 30 of them, but yeah.
Dude, there was a sick play. There's a sick play which I feel like, we found some nugget here, but we only did it like 1 or 2 times. But like Cat is kind of playing a little mini Jokic, like that's even like a strong praise for Cat here. Well, Cat was waiting and baiting the double team, passes it to Jaden cross court, passes it to Gobert for that dunk.
Yeah.
Woo, that was amazing because the secondary tertiary actions really break down Denver, and we had like Ant hit a 3 in those that situation.
Yeah,
it's like we found something, and like if Cat is allowed to play and is not hurried and is doing the safest, most basic stuff, like it really elevates and augments our team and our dynamic. And like they don't have a matchup. Like I swear to God, they don't actually have a matchup. They're putting Murray. I mean, they're putting Murray and KCP on Cat. It's crazy. And we should absolutely take advantage of that. But if he's in foul trouble, we can't because he has to like back off and play a little bit, not his potential.
And it all comes back to, the role players finally producing. Because if they're hitting, then Cat trusts him more, Conley trusts him more, Ant trusts him more. Like if Jaden, I know, they're always going to say they trust the hell out of Jaden McDaniels. But if he's actually hitting shots, the ball is going to move much better. Like we saw tonight. Because, Ant's, in a double team and he doesn't just have to shoot it. He can actually pass to the open guy and they're not just going to brick like they did last game. So huge difference. And Mike Conley being back, ginormous.
That is huge actually, because there was a point where I think it was late in the third quarter. Again, we were up by like 25 at this point, but it was a moment where I think Ant went off, and that's when he went to the locker room. And I was just like, oh gosh, like I really wish that with like 3 minutes left, we weren't giving them a chance to, like, instead of 25, it's like 19 going into the fourth quarter, and instead Ant goes out, but then Conley comes in, and I was like, "Oh yes, we're gonna maintain at least," because like with him out there, and also Mike was like flamethrower tonight. He only shot at a couple, like not that often, but like it felt like he was ripping the nets when he was shooting.
Timely shots.
Yeah, insanely timely shots. But just having him come in the game, it's such a huge difference. It's like taking the weight off the bat when, like, the last game we had to struggle through and like play without him. This game, having him in, it was just like, oh yes, it's easy. We can play basketball again.
I love that bot comment, by the way, on the screen. That's really good.
Yeah. It used to be Ant would miss 3 clutch free throws, but that's kind of a long time ago. I don't know if people remember that. So
hey,
see, Anthony.
I'll be waiting for the Venmo for those $2 if you guys don't mind.
To be honest, Anthony did call for you last stream.
Well,
Anthony
I appreciate
was like,
that.
"Where's Cooper?" And I said that I told you that you were dead to me. So
nice. No, Anthony, good to see you. I see the comments. People I recognize, good to do it. I mean, I don't know, man. It's good to see you guys still doing these streams after every single game. Impressive
game, Cooper.
Even 50-point wins.
Oh, yeah. Change your slogan. We gotta change your slogan there.
Oh man, no, it's good stuff. I think I'm gonna get out of here before you guys do your tier list and such. But it's been great. It's been fun. Maybe I'll come on Game 7.
If they make me cry, man. What the fuck?
No, I'll be back, man. Hey, maybe
you still have like an hour or an hour and a half left. Don't worry about it.
I talked to Cam last time we were on. We discussed maybe I'd be coming on much more, maybe next season, maybe next round.
Oh, next round.
I like that.
Next round, Game 7 next year.
I love that optimism.
I love
it.
I do like.
I miss the going live. I just don't miss the having to do it every single time. So it's good if I can just occasionally.
Our house, your house. You are an inspiration to us all. You were the reasons why we wake up in the morning and we check our YouTube just in case there's a daily.
I'm sorry to disappoint. I should probably change that YouTube name, huh?
Timberwolves when we want to.
Yeah.
Yearly. Well, we should rename to like off-season content only.
So, right. Oh man, that's good. All right. Good to see you guys.
Bye,
Wolves in 7 until it's not. See you later.
Wolves in 7. All right. Boom. That was fun. We get to see Coop.
Touches my
Cooper.
My pocket.
Yes.
I sent the link to the tier list in chat.
I pinned it.
We're doing the things, guys. Make or miss league also. Like, they looked like a shell of themselves, and like the missing of shots definitely hurt their confidence because on defense they were getting worked. We were working them on second actions and making Jokic move and feel uncomfortable. Like the last game, we were like panicking on offense where we were like watching them high wall Ant and we were unable to get any rhythm going. I felt like, my gosh, Conley bringing the ball up, doing simple action, having Cat involved here and there, finding the cutting Jaden or finding Jaden in short shot clock situations to hit a 3. Things were making sense, and it's just a different vibe now. I'm feeling so high and full of life. Game 7 energy is on us, and I'm ready for that. I'm also ready for a tier list. Sorry that I was.
I am ready for the tier list as well. But while you get that ready, a couple things. We had 3 major runs in the game, and I'm not talking about Taco Bell.
Hey.
We had 3 major runs. First one, we went down 9-2 early.
Right.
But then we responded with a 27-2 run in the first quarter. In the second quarter, we went on a 13-0 run. And then in the fourth quarter, we went on a 26-1 run. That is a 66-3 advantage.
That's crazy.
Just in those runs that we had. Again, I keep saying runs. But that is a huge difference in the game, is keeping the momentum when you have it. And especially that first one was just so crucial. Getting out to a lead early, I think, is so big against the Nuggets. If you get out to a decent sized lead, and I don't mean like 5, I don't mean like 7, I mean like 15+ point lead. I think it puts a lot of pressure on their shot makers, because their shot makers like to make shots when it's like comfy, and then they can kind of take it with, how like we can sometimes like take a lot of layups because we're like, oh, well, Gobert's right there to kind of clean it up for us. Their Gobert is having a lead. If they have a 10-point lead, or even just a close game, they have enough confidence to make those shots. But tonight we gave them nothing.
I love that comment. I love that comment. Yeah, we like after that 9-2 lead, like 20-0 run, man, like we took them out of their comfort zone, and now they're behind. Now they have to rush. Like Jokic was taking the ball out casually in Game 5. Man, he was like hurrying the ball up. Hey, we have to play in transition, and like none of it was happening. We were getting back, no transition to be had. Incredible game plan and dynamic, like to be flexible in what was responding when what we were able to see on the court. We played big, we played strong, we out rebounded the crap out of them. Yeah, let's get to the tier list. Monte Morris, I feel like he's kind of out of our rotation now, but he was fine. By the way, most important thing, he hit a 3.
He did. He did hit a 3, and he was actually, did he hit, was it just 1 or was it 2?
Yeah, 1-3.
It was just
sorry,
1?
We can go
Okay.
through his stats, I guess we can. 8 minutes.
That's okay. I wasn't ready. Yeah, you're right. It was just 1. It was 3 points, 2 assists, 1 assist, or 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 of 4 shooting. Oh, interesting. I thought he shot. For some reason, I thought he had more points. But that 1 3 that he did hit, he was very confident, and he was kind of demanding the ball even. And then he shot it, I kid you not, maybe 1 foot over the basket entirely, and it was like a line drive Ricky Rubio-esque style 3, but it went in. And he was confident. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting to see Monte. Obviously this is a blowout game, so this is a little bit different, but decent. By the way, tier list is pinned. If anybody's interested in completing it tonight, I know some of you guys just prefer watching, which is totally fine. But if you need it, it's in chat, linked at the top. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like this was a decent game for him. I want to see if he can hit threes. It's fantastic. I would love that. That's all I've wanted from J-Mac, Baby Mac, or Monte. And if they can do that, because they're both good at not turning the ball over. Although Baby Mac did once tonight. But like they're both good at not turning the ball over. So I'm not so much worried about that. It's really just a matter of like, can you not be Ricky Rubio out there and score some amount of points while you're also dishing it out? So
wow, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's I feel like it's a B.
Yes. Luka Garza, holy crap. He's amazing. I feel like the pink shoes is like, call it in, Denver. When the pink shoes are out, you gotta phone it in. I actually feel like we could use them a little bit more. There's like this end of like first few minutes of second quarter when we were like, ooh, let's go to slow-mo. No, I don't need to, actually. I don't want it. But I do not mind when Jokic is off the floor, maybe throw in a little Garza and like this kind of force feed it down low. He can get into foul. He can get fouls just like Gobert does, and he's way more productive.
He's actually better.
He's better.
He's better.
He follows through his shots. He makes his free throws. It's all this nonsense. So
he doesn't have bricks for hands. Like he can catch the entry pass into the post. I'm not worried about him catching it. King Dave, welcome back.
In Game 7, Ant-Man Mason, you just made my heart stop for a second.
Right. We've never seen Game 7 Ant before. Or amazing. Game 7 Jaden. Or Game 7 Cat.
Expect some stray.
There could be some stray. Although I expected a lot of stray tonight, and we did not get much, if any. So,
well, yeah, Garza, 8 minutes, 8 points. Sensational. I don't need to talk about the rest of his crap. He's amazing.
That was amazing.
Baby Mac. Oh man, we're going through everyone, I guess. Or maybe we always do. But Baby Mac, he hit that one shot was pretty sick with like shot clock violation. Like shot clock was
I
running
think I looked
down.
away during it, so I can't
Yeah.
grade him.
All right, we're gonna give him a B. We're gonna give him a for that turnover. All right.
Oh
Slow-mo.
yeah. Slow-mo, okay. Hear me out. I do want to say some piece on slow-mo. We've kind of mentioned this before, but slow-mo is just getting so much hate right now. Game 7 slow-mo. No, I'm just kidding. But this really is just like the wrong series for him, I feel. Like I think in other series, like the last series that we played, even if we were to move on somehow to the next round, I think he would be more effective than he is in this. It's just very difficult for him because he has to make shots for us kind of right now, or defend Jokic without fouling, or just defend him in a way. I don't know. It just doesn't work right now. So I don't want to give him too much hate. I know people are going crazy on him, and I probably have too. But like I do think it's important to know that it is just a bad series for him. And tonight he had maybe not a terrible night. He played 10 minutes. We got away with plus minutes for Kyle Anderson. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a block. He was 0 of 2, but he hit all 4 of his free throws. Actually hit 5 because there was a lane violation on him, or I don't even know. I was so confused by that. There's a popcorn off the bench. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. I feel like this is like based off of expectations is better than I expected. So I almost feel like it has to be higher than a meh. But this probably is a meh.
There was panic in Seattle. I was screaming every second he was out there, every possession, every timeout where he still existed on the court. I was just screaming like I couldn't believe. And every shot, like when you got into the free throw line, I was like, man, if it was only someone else, he could be substituted in between free throws. But that didn't happen. What I didn't like was those were the 8. There was like a blemish to this game, and there was like 10, 12 possessions where we weren't scoring that much, but neither were they. But they had Jokic, and they cut the lead down to like I think it was like 12 at that point. And then we built the back up. So kudos to the fact that Slow-mo wasn't a sieve or a defensive liability. He had a chance in garbage time to ruin his plus minus, but he only built it. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. I wasn't outrageously upset with his performance tonight, but however, I just don't see a need for him on the court. I think this presence, as Charlie Barley is saying, it's just so it's so magnificent. It's so required.
Yes.
You don't
That was the only thing I was going to say about on the court that you were saying. Like there was that moment. I think there was a play where he either got like the follow back or like there was a play where Nas missed a layup, thought he was fouled, and then Kyle got fouled, I think. But then immediately after Kyle got fouled, he didn't go and do anything, get ready for the ball. He went over to Nas and got in front of him and the ref and tried to calm him down. And I was like, that's your value. That is your value. Yeah, Wamba, that's true.
man.
But that's the value he has on the court more so in this series than he does actually any like amount of any. He's just too slow. I don't know. It just hasn't looked good for him. But
oh my god, Marcus.
Seriously? By the way,
Classics.
They go back to the old jerseys after this one. This is the only game where they can do it. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. They have to somebody make the executive decision. You have 2 days to figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
But we go back to association jerseys?
Yes, for game 7.
Oh, they are such idiots.
It's how? Who is making these decisions on the jerseys? It's unreal.
Well, I did rename bottoms to slow-mo tier just for right now, but I feel like you played above his slow-mo to D-Lo. And all right, let's move on. Oh, maybe you meant. We're moving on. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, welcome back to the offensive fold, my friend. I think his offense feels his defense, honestly, because he really latched on to Jamal Murray when Ant wasn't on him. By the way, it was so hilarious. I was doing the Nickeil smirk when Murray was bringing the ball up and it was Ant, and then they do a pick and roll and they switch off and it's Jaden, and then they do a pick and pop and they switch and it's Nickeil. It's like Jamal Murray cannot get going this series. It's going to happen. Like it's not going to happen. Nickeil Alexander-Walker in 16 and a half minutes, 9 points, 3 for 5 from 3. That's all he did was take threes. And the craziest thing, he did pull-up threes. He made almost all of his threes off of pull-up threes.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. That's interesting. Huh. Well, I'm all for his offense coming back here in these last couple games. We need it. But by the way, I love Steve's comment. Cash and garbage time is a reverse mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah. I give this
But yeah,
performance a B.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a B. I think, I love if Na shows up in game 7, guys, we've got an interesting one. If Na and Jaden show up both defensively and offensively, it might be game over. Like, I think it's series over if both of them show up offensively, because then it's a guarantee that either they're getting wide open shots or Ant's getting not double teamed and he can blow by his man. So it's interesting. I want those two in the gym shooting threes forever in the next 2 days.
Yes.
Forever. Jaden needs to be in the gym. I understand he had a good game tonight. Stay in there, corner 3 after corner 3 until you're dizzy. I don't know. Just keep shooting them. You have to, because it's so crucial. And if we have him hitting corner 3s for us in game 7, dude, it's an exciting thing to think about. But yeah. Anyways, Naz Reid is up next, unless you had any more on Na.
No, just a quick shout out to Cooper. He messaged me saying, "Hey, your audience is the best. Your crowd's the best." So, all right, we love you, Coop, and can't wait for you to come back whenever it is. That is, and he said next round, so it's got to be. It's guaranteed. Mason, we'll get back to your question in a minute after this tier list. How do we feel about?
Yes, we will get to that, Mason, for
That's
sure.
gonna be a big part of our show. We gave Nickeil a B. Let's move on. Naz Reid. The tattoo,
10 points.
Owls.
Yeah. 22 minutes, 10 points, 11 rebounds. It was a plus. I mean, everybody was a plus tonight, basically, other than Josh Minot, weirdly. But he shot 4 of 12, had 2 personal fouls, no turnovers. The shot is not there for Naz, but the rebounding was tonight. That was awesome to see. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was an acceptable. I know we're not going to add another tier, but this was more of like an acceptable game from Naz. I still, that's the other person. If Naz could figure out his threes as well, that's a huge thing that we've been missing this entire series, basically. From Naz is we just need some amount of offense from actually pretty much the whole playoffs. Pretty much the whole playoffs, he's not been here. So and Na, as this comment, he has been the one that has been showing up. Naz has not been showing up as much, and he's just been arguing so much. It really bothers me in these seriously crucial games because it's like, if you get a technical in one of these 2 games, please stop. Please.
Yeah, don't give anything to Denver for free.
Seriously, just like cut it out. And also, a lot of the plays that he's complaining about are like all ball, totally clear that it was not a foul type of plays. So it really bothers me if we were to give a point away, especially in a game 7. That would be really sad. So let's just have him make his threes, and maybe some dunks, and then we'll call it good. But I don't know. For this game, I don't necessarily want to go super low, but I feel like it's probably, I don't know. Is it like a meh, or am I too low?
I think you're too low. I think it's a B because what he did bring was just board presence, and he's shot trigger happy. Sometimes when the ball is moving too much or the ball is sitting in with one player, you kind of lack rhythm. You're lacking like you're like forcing things. I think I think Nas played his role well. I thought there was a couple possessions where he was mishandling the ball, and I was like, "Ooh, I was worried, but maybe a travel or a turnover here and there." But he went to the rim. He got a couple of shot putts. He went on Jamal Murray, and that was awesome to see. And yeah, maybe he missed his threes, but he got 11 boards. Like, that's all we can ask for. Like, play strong, play big. It's okay that you're going to get foul calls because it's the nature of this game. You're going to be switched on to Jokic and shit like that. And also just like play your role. So I agree with you that maybe his shot wasn't there. We need to have him, Na and Jaden in the gym just shooting the lights out. But ultimately, I think this was a pretty good game, a meh, if not a B.
Yeah. Okay.
Conley.
Mike Conley.
31 minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, no turnovers, a block shot, and
That block was sick.
Oh my god!
On Brown.
On Brown. Yeah. Most importantly, though, 3 for 6 from 3. Yeah. I believe in this team so much more when we have Mike Conley out there.
Oh yeah.
Simple.
I do too. I mean, the confidence for me, like I said, the late third quarter, I mean, it was just like, I feel so good. I feel so good. Tearflation B. Is that about, wait, who is that? Might be
That's
about
probably about Nas.
Yeah, that was about Nas. Yeah, I just feel so confident with him out there. And I think my grade that I'm going to give is probably a little bit of tearflation, and it's solely based on how sad I was not having him in the last game and how happy I was to have him in this game. Also, I mean, he was knocking down a ton of crucial, timely buckets. And then that block was sick too. I mean, it's just having him out there is such a luxury for this team. And my grade's way too high. My grade is sensational, but that's probably too high. I'm just off the Mike Conley juice right now, and I'm very excited.
Juice. The old man juice. Tough juice. I agree with you. Sensational is what it is. He fits the criteria, man. Like, it wasn't like 9 for 10 from 3, but it's exactly what we want him to be. And it's like kind of like from game 5 to game 6, that energy, that dopamine hit of like, oh my God, we're just like running offense. We're playing sensationally, and also defense is translating into offense. And guys, they scored 14 points in the first quarter, 9 points in the fourth quarter, right? 23 points in like a half, basically, of basketball. Defense is our DNA, and without him, we kind of exhaust ourselves early in games because Nikhil has to expend himself, and then we switch in more players. The Monty Morris can't play the way that our guards play. The Jaden, or Jordan McLaughlin doesn't show up early in those moments. So it's like we have to really hurry it up and like really play desperate. And we didn't do that on game 5 in a large degree. Game 6 gives us, or game 6, or Mike Conley coming back kind of gives us like a spread, right? Where we can have him play. He's a threat that can't leave off, like can't sag off of him. And also then when he gets subbed out, sorry, Jamal, here comes Nikhil Alexander-Walker. You can't take moments off if you're Jamal because you're not going to see a massive matchup where you're going to have an advantage. We're not going to give that to you. Mike Conley's remarkable.
Yes, he is. And I'm so happy he was back today and will be back for game 7.
Jaden McDaniels, 30 minutes.
Jaden.
8 for 10 from the floor, 3 for 5 from 3. Hit his free throws, had a couple rebounds, 2 block shots, and Sudovic, he's basically clamp God himself, 21 points. Game 6, Jaden. Cameron, take it away.
This was the game we needed from Jaden. We've been waiting for it all series. Maybe not all series. I feel like he had at least a good game or two. But and defensively, Jaden's played fantastic every game. However, the offense has been, the offense in the last game, he had pretty much the same exact opportunities that he had this game. He just didn't make them. And that was crucial to our team's success and being able to hang with Denver at home. This game obviously was at home, but him making those shots, it's so valuable in so many ways. It's an easy, for me, another sensational grade. This won't be A1. A1 is reserved for I'm going to tell my children about it someday. And that's, I don't know if I'm going to say that about this game, but this seriously was, based off of expectations of what Jaden can do offensively, or maybe I should have expected this because game 6, Jaden goes crazy, but based off of expectations coming in, it wasn't looking great. And this was just a much needed, we were talking about Conley having just crucial shots, like timely shot making. This was a timely good game for Jaden. This was like the perfectly timed game for Jaden to have a good game. So sensational for me.
Yeah, I actually love that commentary. It was really funny. I don't know. I'm saying some general shit right now, but the very first play of the game was a lob to Gobert. We didn't have a Jaden play. Jaden usually needs to get kind of invited into the game on offense. and he found his rhythm within the rhythm of the offense. We didn't force anything. I felt. I think the first shot was a missed three. We forced it to him, and then he immediately made his next three. I was super worried about that. I was like, oh, if he's not going to make his shots, we don't need him in there. And because we're starting to blow out the lead, we need to keep the gas running, as Ant even said. But he proved me wrong in a lot of ways, because like the fact that he's able to play both sides of the ball, generality speaking here, like there's not a whole lot of players that in the NBA that you can count on like one or two hands, like that will play this efficiently on both sides of the ball, and this remarkably, at least on defense. He's I sing the praises for him way more than I should, but like it's because of games like this that really say, hey, the future is not only bright, but it's just like shining on Ant and Jaden as like this future duo, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Sensational tier for sure.
I love that. I love that commentary out of you. I am so excited. That's the other thing, is that like I want to, like, regardless of what happens, even if we lose game 7, even if we make it, and even if we go to the next like series, or even if we go to the finals or something crazy, I am excited for the years looking forward if Jaden can figure out the offense as well as his defense, because if we have Ant and Jaden on the team that are both like, Ant's a little bit more offense heavy and Jaden's a little bit more defense heavy, and they kind of just mesh together but can both score, I love it. And then you throw in Nas to that equation, maybe Nickeil Alexander-Walker as well. I love that little core that you have there. So I don't know. I'm very happy with Jaden tonight. I don't really have any major feedback for him. So
maybe one reason why we were playing slow-mo a little too much is because I think we were conserving Rudy Gobert. There was like this moment where Jokic was like high usage, and I think we swapped out for slow-mo. I think Gobert, oh wow, only one foul. I thought he had more fouls than that. Only one foul, but there was a moment where
we
I think
did pretty good on fouls tonight in general as a team.
But like Gobert, I was wondering, like, oh man, he's sitting on the bench for a considerable amount of time, all the way until the 3.5 mark of the second quarter. Did he come back in after that first stint in the first quarter? So he didn't play a whole lot in the first half. He ends the game with 30 minutes, 8 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, a bunch of other ancillary stats. He missed both his free throws. But just key size, key deflections, and all this like other stuff that doesn't go on the box score, he was able to do and disrupt. And even like Richard Jefferson said, like they are, he is an adversary in the post. Like if you're trying to get to the post and you're trying to score, he is taking you out of rhythm. Take it away, man. My grade's pretty high, even though, maybe like it wasn't like ultimately the best game from him.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm going to throw a little bit of, what's the word? Water on the fire. What's that saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. But is that some of his tips when he wasn't getting rebounds felt like they could have just been rebounds. And like he's just tapping it. There was like one possession where the Nuggets got like 4 offensive rebounds in one play. And I think Rudy got fouled on one of the times, but still it was like, I understand that that's like a huge plus. And obviously there were many times tonight where he tapped it out and it worked for us. But like there were times where it didn't work. And it always just kind of frustrates me because it's like, man, just grab it. I understand your hands are terrible, but just grab it, take it, and just wait for Ant or wait for Conley or somebody to come over. Even though it's on a fast break, oh well, just take the rebound. Or if it's offensive, just hold on to it and then let somebody else get open for you. I don't know. I feel like I want him to still do the tipping at times, but I want him to reduce that by like 25% because I feel like there's a chance where he could just get 20 rebounds a game if he could just do that a little bit more. But instead, it gets like a fight. 2 people are going for it, and then it goes to the edge. It's just, I don't know. But right. That's nitpicking on a night where overall it was a great night. I will say also, I guess the other thing I'll nitpick about a little bit early, last game, the media going crazy about Gobert. Stupidest commentary ever. There is insane effort. Like it's like politics. It's like people are so against him, which to be fair, his politics are crazy. But that's not the topic that I'm talking about. But it's just like this concerted effort to be like, yes, let's diminish Rudy's defensive player of the year because whatever. Stupid. What's his name? What's the guy that's in charge or used to be like the guy for the Warriors and now he's on ESPN?
Oh, Bob Myers.
Bob
Why
Myers
is-
before.
why does he have a
First
voice,
off, yes. Why is he even have a voice in this at all? Because also before the game, I don't know if you guys saw this. He's like, well, it's the defensive player of the year versus the MVP. How can you be defensive player of the year if you can't stop the MVP? What are you talking about? Also, like, this is different. Like, did you see Jokic? Did you see the plays that Gobert was on him? This wasn't like it drove me insane. And he's treating it like it's some like Marvel movie where it's like two like superheroes against each other. And it's like you had like that's not how it is. This isn't like 2K. This isn't like a video game. This isn't like a movie. This is actual real life. And Jokic is just phenomenal player. And Jokic is like doing this weird like carnival type shots where he's like throwing it up behind his head like tonight even. He had insane buckets tonight. But last game, I thought he played really well against. I thought he did as good as he could. He wasn't
we loved
fouling
it.
him, I guess.
We loved it.
But that was fine. Tonight, I feel like he came out and it was like whatever it was, he was getting some help from other players, which was great. But like when he was one-on-one, I felt like it wasn't as like it actually was like feeding into some of the narratives that people were talking about, where he's being soft and letting him kind of like get back down a little bit. But that was just the first quarter. Beyond that, I mean, then we had a lead, so it was a little bit different way to play defense. But I don't know. That's a lot to say that I feel like Gobert did okay tonight, and I am pretty comfortable. I don't know. It said you said you were going to go pretty high, but I don't know what pretty high means to you. I would not consider this a sensational game or a cash game, obviously.
No, I'm between a B and an A, and I feel like I think this is a game where it's hard to grade him because of like the output. We didn't need him offensively, but the fact that we got him like going a little bit, like allowed their defense to have to like see him and like look for him. There was moments where like Jokic was absolutely turned, right? And when he was turned, like Ant went for a layup or like Cat went for that drive, which my God, I love that drive that he did in that first quarter. It's like, and part of that's actually just because we had Gobert a little bit established in the beginning. So I'm veering on A, but I was at the start of this conversation, I was kind of thinking like a B.
Okay. Well, we're in between. We won by 50. Maybe we go up.
We go up.
We go up.
Karl Anthony Towns, 29 minutes, 10 points. Oh my!
I know. I can't believe that he only had 10. It's crazy.
4 of 10 from the floor. Hit both his free throws. Four offensive rebounds, by the way. 13 rebounds in total. 5 assists. 1 turnover. 3 fouls, all in the second quarter. And I don't think he saw any time in the fourth quarter. Interesting game from Cat. I wouldn't say it's like his best one, but it was definitely one of his better starts. I loved what he played defensively on Jokic.
Yeah, I
to
do
the point
too.
where I felt like Jokic looked normal. Like he looked like
Yes.
normal, not
Yes.
Super Saiyan, not like game 5 was one of one game. Like
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see another version of Jokic like that.
If we do, it's over. It doesn't matter what
true.
what teams, you could throw multiple teams, you could have 10 players on the floor against them and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. But
yeah, and like maybe we're hurrying Jokic a little bit, get him off the ball, doubling him a little bit. That's part of the charm of how we can guard on the defensive end, is that we could put Cat on him and like not really lose much, and then have that quick double, right? So like he doesn't have the size to back down Cat quickly, and he doesn't have the speed just innately. And then when we doubled him, he has to get the ball off, and his shooters weren't making shots. So he doesn't look like a god when the shooters are making shots. The confidence isn't instilled in his bench and in the other players because they're not looking for the cut, or he's not looking for that cut or that backside lob or whatever, And like all that crap was happening in game 5, where he looked like, the regular season, dazzling passes and all that stuff. He wasn't doing that tonight, and that in fact he was like struggling to find open players. So to a large part, that's Cat in the first quarter. I thought his defense outproduced his offense tonight. I thought he ended possessions very abruptly, and I think he was, he has his deficiencies, but he didn't really display them at all. So I'm very comfortably giving him a B, if not an A, tonight.
I'm at least an A. I feel like this was a really good game. I would love for him. I think the only thing keeping him away from like cash or sensational in my mind is if he hit threes. I mean, he like one again. We talked about this, and in the Discord, the over under was like 5.5 threes or something by Towns or something.
Missed it.
And yeah, he missed it again. Again, how is this possible? We need to be one. It is partially on Ant. Ant finds Cat so slowly, and really anybody on the 3-point line so
does.
slowly. I think was that you talking about that last stream? I don't remember. Somebody,
Mm,
I was listening to somebody that was talking about how slow it takes for Ant to get the ball, and it's kind of like a lazy habit of his.
Yeah.
But either way, it really is too slow to get to Towns. If he could get some crisper passes, also he's getting doubled and he's throwing it really wide to them, and it's like, oh man, I don't know. It really does feel like we could get him a little bit better position to get those threes off quicker without a defender in his face. But still, I feel like Cat's got to be able to. He's got to be able to just fire in some situations because there was multiple times tonight where he had Murray on him again from the 3-point line. It's like you can shoot over him. That's what we loved so much in the second game. He was just taking advantage of the mismatches, not by going into
Yeah.
the post, which tonight he did. Tonight he took advantage of the post, which was amazing to see. This was like early career Towns. And he was doing that from 3-point line. And it's like, okay, I'm 7 feet tall. Even if you jump, you can't touch where the release point is. So I would love to see that too, but no, I think this was an A game from Towns. Hit a couple threes and boom, we're in sensational.
Boom. I actually don't really remember the misses all too much. I think the
I don't
misses
even
from three I
remember
remember.
taking a three. Yeah.
Yeah. There were a couple quarter threes, and then there was like a quick like contested three that I remember early in the game. I think he understood the assignment because he had that pump fake drive to the dunk for a dunk. Like
That was nice.
that was such a mature fucking play from him to the extent
Yep.
where I didn't see any Dirk fadeaways. I didn't see any behind the back passes or dribbling between his legs, trying to like, isolate and whatever. He was playing the role, like he was backing down, being patient.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like patient is a curse with him because he thinks too much, but I feel
Yeah.
like I was watching him play methodically and to a point
Yeah.
where it's like Ant is passing back to Cat passes back to Ant, or finds the open cutter or open like cross pass. I thought it was
Yes.
really great. The fact that I'm only seeing one turnover from him, no offensive fouls. This is such a marvelous beginning, like a baseline for what we want from Cat. And like, I'm not expecting anything outrageous from him, but I
Mhm.
want him to shoot threes and take threes and make threes. But like, this is a great compromise. Like, I think that what he was able to do tonight maybe outweighs our expectations. So I'm going to give him an A.
I'm down with it. I'm so down with it. Oh my goodness. What a fun
Anthony
one.
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, my goodness. 33 minutes. Thankfully, gets some rest, and now he gets a couple days off. 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. By the way, quick little note. Mark sent this in the Discord. Players to average 35-5 in elimination games. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Edwards.
Crazy.
That is crazy. So yeah. But anyways, 27, 4, 3 steals. He was 8 of 17, 4 of 9 from 3. Got to the line a little bit. He was 7 of 8. Only had 2 fouls and only 1 turnover. Wow. This is a great game for Ant. This was a great game. Elimination game. We needed him to show up. He did not show up in the last game. And that was really disappointing. And I was going to be, there was a part of me, honestly, coming into this game. I know I'm one of the biggest like Ant supporters and fanboys or whatever. But I was kind of nervous coming into this game that maybe Ant wasn't going to show up. I don't know. It's great. Like, I don't know what about it was giving me that vibe, but I just felt like I wasn't hearing a lot from the team. Also, I was just hearing so many fans that were like out of it, not caring. And I just figured, maybe, he's 22. Maybe he's not going to be mature enough to kind of like show up for a game where it feels like all hope is gone, and also he hasn't played particularly well at home. Like when we had those home games, it wasn't like amazing game. Well, he had the 44-point game, but other than that, it was like, I don't know, he's been okay. He had one bad game against, he's kind of been like 500 at home, like whether he's good or
Yeah.
bad. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that was my main concern. So turns out he was fine. This was a good game. This does get injured in this game. I don't know how
Oh my
concerned to
gosh.
be about that. Because at first I thought it was really bad. And then I could kind of tell by the way he was laying there that this was one of his kind of patented, like, let me just take a moment and like get myself sorted kind of a deal. But he came back in, he's limping, he can barely walk, he can barely pick up the ball, and then he picks up Jamal Murray's 94 feet. And it's
Yeah,
like,
that was
okay,
crazy.
it's fine. Um, but um, but yeah, I guess I don't really know where to grade him, to be honest with you tonight.
Well, my little spiel is gonna be quick. I thought he was fantastic. I think what he did do wasn't he didn't like take over the game at any given moment. However, in the first quarter, there was a little bit of a rhythm that we needed to find. It was 9-2, call timeout, figure things out. We got some transition stuff. We got that dunk and everything. And I really feel like he found his fit in this game despite defense. In this game specifically, he needed to feel himself defensively. And so his job, he felt, in my opinion, it was just to lock, clamp Jamal Murray. He got some easy buckets. He had a couple threes. He had that three that was contested by Jokic and Gordon. That was crazy. That was a double team three. That was
Mhm.
didn't need to take that, but whatever. He had
I
14 points in the first quarter. Denver had 14 points in the first quarter. So,
Yeah.
like to that extent, he was outproducing, outpacing expectations, and amazing. He didn't need to play in the fourth quarter. There was moments where the game started to get like completely blowed out that he wasn't necessarily needed. And
Mhm.
the third quarter, I think he was just kind of feeling himself a little bit, wanting to find a rhythm again, take this game, home. And it was an awesome three that he hit, but like also, like he was kind of like hunting for shots a little bit too. This is an A. This is an A game. I loved it, and that's remarkable. Like we don't need an A1 performance. We long for it. We love this motherfucker, but like we don't need that. If we could get like a very like just well-rounded game from him, and then maybe like when the game is rough, like we can find him in passing lanes and or find him top of the key or like find him like with the ball in his hands late in shot clock situations. Like we should feel confident. We should feel good about that. So I'm giving
Mhm.
him an A.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, the one argument that I could see some people making about making it higher, is that it's he, um, he kinda got the game going to the point where then the rest of the team could either just pick it up. So, he's the one that kind of initiated this 45-point win, even though he didn't maybe score 50 or whatever. But, his
Yep,
scoring
totally.
opened up the options for everybody else, which then everybody else did convert and execute on, making it great. But yeah, in general, I mean, this wasn't the craziest of Ant games. So a little bit of tier deflation, getting it back down to real life. Um, but yes, my headphone
And I
just
mean,
died. Okay, that
oh,
was back. That was weird.
I mean, and Murray just shooting just real quick. Like, there's some commentary here about like how it reminded him of Rubio. Absolutely, there was some like flat-footed, like short shots that just hit like the side of the rim and the corner of the backboard. So it just looked like the ball died at the rim. Ball died dead on arrival. And like
Mhm.
he tried to do a couple of like hurried classic Jamal Murray shots off the wrong foot, and those were absolute misses. It almost felt like sometimes when people shoot threes, I kind of like do one of these things. Like, did it go in? Or like
Yeah,
KCP and Aaron Gordon. Now I'm doing this with Aaron Gordon when he shoots threes because I absolutely just can't look. But like
yeah.
Murray, I'm not feeling confident in his shot. Like that's a good thing. Like I'm like
I
not worried
know.
about him in his shot, and he's gonna get a couple here and there. He works for everything. Edwards' defense is such a plus. Holy crap, we exonerate him. We no not exonerate. We just just shower him with love for all he does offensively. But actually, it's like his defense really elevates our floor.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
ceiling is through the roof with him offensively, but like our floor is raised because there's no matchup then that Murray has that he can exploit. It's incredible. So this is an A. Shout out to Ant.
I'm good with an A. Oof. Wow. Is that everybody?
Well, we got Finch, we got the coaches.
Oh, the coaches. I mean, I feel like obviously it's hard to say anything negative about the coaches when you win by 50. Weird to keep Rudy out there for a little extra time in the fourth. I was kind of like, are we really I understand me being concerned about a 45-point win or whatever. Hey Xavier. But yeah, it was just weird. So but no, I mean in general, yeah, I see that everybody gave him really high grades. So I'm fine with whatever.
Well, it was going to probably be like an A1 or sensational, but there was the Gerald Becker comment, just Kyle Anderson minutes. I really didn't understand that second quarter, or that first quarter stint was whatever, fine. But then the second quarter sustained, existence of slow mo. Really, I questioned it. I will say I'm not going to be super biased here about that though. I think this is a sensational game from the coaching staff to actually rebound from game 5, to have 48 hours to fly home, to get all this back in, to get the morale moving. It's like I can be pretty petty at times when I lose an opportunity, when I lose a game at whatever, when I do like online or board game or whatever. Sometimes I can
Mhm.
get kind of in my feelings and then feel like, oh man, I'm pouting and whatever. He got his team ready. I felt like they were so energized, and maybe
Yeah.
there was a couple jittery moments early in the game, but that was completely nipped in the butt after that 9-2 run. So like I don't know, like how stupid does this sound? This sounds like insanely stupid math. After 9-2, they scored 61 points for the rest of the game, and we scored 113. Like, isn't that like just the dumbest thing to say out loud? But
It's
just like that's
crazy.
over 40 like 3 points. Like that's nuts. So like
Yeah.
hats off to Finch. I think it's sensational cash. It doesn't matter. I'll throw a
Yep.
sensational fine.
Boom.
All right, there you have it, folks.
Awesome. Whoa, we did it in time. I didn't even try to, and we did it in the same amount of time,
Yeah.
or better than last time.
Here we are.
Cool. A positive night. That's a good sign. If we can have these same results on Sunday, guys, I think we'll see you next round. That's exciting. Now, on to the next. We had some questions in chat, and I believe you saved at least one of them.
I did. I wanted to.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
want to
wanted
do
to
something
say
else?
shout out to Charlie for being hilarious. Finch kicked Malone's ass with only one good leg.
That's
Wow.
true.
Hilarious. The visual
Very
is also
true.
hilarious.
But Mason, this is what it brings us to next. Why do I have a good feeling about this game 7? And that is now time for us to give us our thoughts. And I kind of gave spoilers on my thoughts earlier. In the fact, and if you weren't here, I'll recap shortly. One, winning this game isn't just keeping us alive. It gives us some momentum to go into game 7 now, and it takes momentum away from Denver. Now, of course, they're going to be at home. They play well at home, but also think of game 1. The first game was them being ready for a raucous, loud, like passionate game at Ball Arena or whatever. And we stole it. Yeah, we stole it and took it very seriously and surprised them. And not only did we surprise them, then we took them out again in game 2. So sure, they got their stuff back in game 5. There was not as much time. There was only a day in between games. So we had to fly there the next day, get ready, game plan, all that stuff. And then the next day was just a game day. So there wasn't a lot of time. And that was just like kind of rushed into it. Now we have Friday and Saturday off, and then we play Sunday. I don't think the time has been announced yet, but either way, we have 2 days off to kind of game plan about this. And then we see. But I also have a good feeling about this going into game 7. I can't lie to you guys though. Like I was super negative going into tonight. I mean, not super negative. I mean, like I guess I felt like there was a decent chance we won. Like I felt like it was like 50-50 in my mind. I did not count us out completely from losing or from winning this game. But I didn't, I was kind of talking in the Discord with somebody earlier about, shout out the Discord, about how I'm prepared to lose this game, but I'm not prepared for the season to end. And I think it's the reverse now. It's like I can see us like winning this next game for sure, but it's like it's hard for me to see us winning the series. So, but if we win the game, we win the series. So, it's and the same thing. It's tonight. If we lost tonight, we lose the series. So it's like it's kind of the reverse feeling now of it's less that I think we're going to win the series, which of course we will if we win the next game, and I feel confidence about us winning the next game. So I guess that means that we do. I'm very curious though to see Game 7 Ant. I think that will be taxing on my mental health, but but if it's amazing, I don't know. I'm gonna go crazy.
I'm not gonna, pull any sort of like Draymond Green crap or even Shaq, yeah, just like Nikola Jokic isn't the MVP in my eyes, or like Bob Myers, oh it's over, it's over before the game even started.
Yes.
I will predict and it's bias. I predict the Wolves win.
Yep.
And why I say that is because I think we've seen everything Denver has to give, everything Denver has to kind of throw at us, and we just have a little bit too many options on offense. Jaden tonight, Cat at any given moment, apparently only needed 10 points tonight. Gobert can hit the free throws and get easy dunks, and we can find him. And with Mike, it's like way easier to do that, way easier to implement. And can, of course, game 7, it's going to probably happen. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I also want to make sure that like the coaches make sure that he's like confident, but not like overreaching, and I think that he's going to need to play a part where maybe he's going to feel a little uncomfortable, where he's going to be more of a distributor early, but we'll see. But then there's Conley, like this is like maybe it for Conley, in a lot of ways. So like, I feel like this team is going to play up to the level of competition at worst. And I think that Denver has kind of shown all they have. MPJ, Aaron Gordon, KCP, they're role players. Haven't been very much of anything outside of Aaron Gordon. Has been like borderline
been
like
crazy.
Robin to to the Batman of Jokic. So like, I'm just saying, like, and if you're relying on Aaron Gordon shooting threes, I'm comfortable with that. He was hitting him early, and that 10 for 11, whatever game 4 crap was, 20 points in game 5. Look what happened tonight. Like, he was hitting his threes, but he wasn't like the option tonight, and Jokic had a hard time finding him, and there wasn't any sort of like, leaky dunks. All this is to say, like, I really feel like we've established a cool rhythm defensively that fuels our offense, and we got more transition. We played bigger. We doubled them in rebounds essentially, and then like, if we have a lead, if we play smart early, we don't beat ourselves early, right? There's a lot of ifs in that sentence, but if we play strong into our strengths, we're not going to go down by 10. We're not going to go down by 15 because we're going to equal their shooting potential and prowess because we have better shooters on the court.
Yeah.
We play bigger, so we're going to play better in the post. And it's going to be like, hey, if Jokic isn't like an MVP caliber performance that fuels all the inspiration for all the, all the good vibes for and all the, mentality for their other players. It's like they were cold. Like, you saw that play. There was like a play like Jokic was like forcing it to another player. Christian Brown was like, I don't know what to do with the ball. All right. And like, okay, miss. And then he like forces it to MPJ in the top of the key. He shoots a 3 wide right. They're out of rhythm because they're not in rhythm because Jokic is trying to get himself going and Murray's like 2 for 18 or whatever the fuck. So like, they thrive off of Jokic being remarkable, right? And like, that's how we lost in a lot of ways. Those games where Jokic was insane.
Yeah.
And I feel like we saw that. And I like looking at this performance, like, what the fuck was like, isn't he wanting to close us out right now? Like, doesn't he want to not have a game 7 so he can rest for the next series? It was like borderline, like, crazy to see like that. They just kind of called it. They phoned it in, as you said, in early, way too early, Yeah, I think we shook them. I think we have it. I think we got it. And I'm really confident about it.
And that's why if we can go up early, to your Aaron Gordon point about him just making everything, a lot of him being able to he's just confident because one, they're up big or not maybe up big, but they're up in a lot of these games. So he then has the confidence because he's like, oh, if I miss it, we're still up. It's not like a crucial, hey, we need this bucket kind of a thing. So if we can apply that pressure early, get up by 10, get up by 15 early, and then force him into meaningful shots, that's a little different, before he gets in a rhythm. So early on, like if we're leaving him open, like we have been, even still after saying that we wouldn't, see what happens. Also put the pressure on Malone because it seems like he's got a trend of kind of just giving up. I don't know. Now I don't think he'll give up in a game 7, but on the flip side, the only thing that does worry me is that tonight I do feel like, again, this is another one of your points. They like to get Jokic going early so that everybody else can have the confidence because they can just watch him dominate. And then we have to collapse to try to get him. And then they get wide open shooters and then they get the confidence again. Tonight, again, this felt kind of odd to me. It was kind of like, why aren't they just feeding it to Jokic every time? Because he can just like it. It wasn't like he had a bad night necessarily. I mean, like he wasn't like he was 9 and 19. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. But like, and of course, he's like more of a triple double kind of a person. But it just to me felt like there was opportunities to really for him to push it a little bit and kind of get the offense going, and they just never really tried it. I don't know. It felt very strange to me. So I assume that what they're going to try to do immediately in the next game is try to go to him, and if he starts getting it going early, then it's the thing. If Jokic is going to have a great game where he can get the triple double and get like 30 points or something like that, then all of those things that we talked about earlier about like, oh yeah, if we can have Na and Jaden have a really good game, we have a good chance of winning. You need both of them to have a really good game offensively. You need Ant to play good. You need Cat to play good. You need Nas to play good.
Yeah.
You need legitimately like 5 very potent offensive players going off to have a chance. If Jokic is going to have that type of game, then you really do. So I don't know. It's going to be fascinating.
Long story short, we don't really know, but we're just go ahead.
We're Wolves fans, so we're going to be a little bit biased towards
a little bit biased.
the Wolves, and I really do think we kind of know what to expect from them. Like another one of your points, I'm just regurgitating everything that you said, but you were talking about like we've kind of seen everything from the Nuggets, so we kind of know what to expect. The world has never seen a Game 7 Anthony Edwards, Game 7 Karl Anthony Towns, Game 7 anybody, so it's interesting. Maybe Denver has a great player but no leader. That's almost what it seems like.
I agree with that, Anthony Hollis. Shout out to the legend himself.
Yes, Anthony, welcome back.
Facts. I believe that truly. I hate to say this, like John Madden kind of like commentary, but like they just missed shots. We won by scoring more points than them, right? Like it's so silly to say these kind of things, but like they missed shots. Are they going to be this bad? This like dejected? Probably not. Are we going to play to the level that we're capable of? Probably. Like in a lot of ways, like the defense is sustainable. Like we can get them out of rhythm and we can force tough shots and we can live with the results. And like those tough shots we don't pay a whole lot of attention to that kind of crap. We really get dejected when they get those transition dunks, when they get those cut dunks, those break dunks, and like Jokic pops off and he wasn't even hitting his threes tonight, so if he's not hitting his shots, we can feel good. And by the way, that like one-on-one defense, we were, I wouldn't say exposed, we were soft exposed to that, but like we started doubling him, hurrying him, rushing him, he has to work for it. So I'm just pretty thrilled about like our performance today, and I really am just super overconfident for Game 7 now.
I know I am overconfident. I am. Yeah, I'm seeing quotes come through from Anthony Edwards, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I think we have to watch this press conference together if you have time.
Let's do it.
Let's play it.
I don't do anything, so yeah.
What do you think led?
It's only coming out of the right ear. I can't do that. We have to find a different one.
You want me to do it?
Well, no, I can. It's not that. It's the fact that Fox 9, their video
Fox.
is that. So let me find.
Fox.
Yeah, Fox being right. Okay. Let me see.
I have a House of Highlights one.
That's what I have.
And you guys are facing elimination coming in here. Like, what do you think led to just the response that you guys had tonight?
Shit, we got Mike Conley back. That was it.
What does he bring to the table that just means so much to you guys?
I mean, 3 for 6 from 3, 13 points, just efficient. He always gonna make the right play.
This team does seem to have a toughness about it that whenever you're down, you pick yourselves back up. What do you think leads to that?
Guys just believing in themselves. I think the last 3 games we was all down on ourselves, like just trying to point the finger, blame somebody. And then I think today, before the game, the coaches, the whole staff, like they did a great job of putting a clip together as far as like the plays that we made, the 2 games that we won against these guys, and everybody like started to believe after that little edit that they put together. And I can tell the energy shifted after that little edit. So that was big time. I told them that was big time putting the edit together.
And coming into this game, how did you approach it? Like, what were you thinking that you needed to do in this game coming into it?
Me individually, just shoot it every chance I get. Honestly, yeah. I don't think I shot it enough. I'm looking at it. I only shot 17 times, but we won, so I don't care. But yeah, just shoot it every chance I get. Because last game they took the ball out of my hands.
I was going to ask about the other guys who then got a lot of shots. I think between you, Rudy, and Kat, I think you guys were 16 to 35 together, and you got a lot of help from everybody else. How did you see that come together?
Bro, Jaden played great tonight. He took 10 shots and had 21. Yeah, he was fantastic tonight. Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to him. He's the X factor of the team. I think everybody knows it. When he plays well, we win. I don't know the percentages, but I mean, I feel like when Jaden plays well, can't nobody beat us. So I mean, him playing like that tonight, it was crazy.
And what's the difference between you bringing the ball up and Mike or somebody else bringing the ball up and you being on the wing? Does your mindset change how does it work?
I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, because last game I was trying to get people involved and be aggressive. But when Mike playing, I don't have to worry about getting people involved. That's his job. So, yeah, tonight it was no getting people involved for me. I don't think I had that many assists tonight. Yeah. Oh, I had 4. So I did what I needed to do.
And I was hoping to get your early thoughts on Sunday. You know, they call it the 2 greatest words in sports, Game 7, with a 1-game opportunity to knock out the defending champs. Just how do you look at it?
Like you said, they're the defending champs. So it's going to be super tough. They're home. They're at the crib. They fans is crazy. It's going to be super loud. But, I mean, I feel like as a competitor, it's like one of the best feelings in the world. I've never played a Game 7 on the road, but all my playoff experiences on the road has been like super fun because nobody's on your side. So I can just imagine how this game will be and like the fans. So I'm super pumped for it. Like I'm super happy. I'm ready to play it.
As a leader, how do you try not to get high on these moments as far as blowing them out tonight, going to that Game 7, just to carry it over?
I mean, it's hard not to get high, I would say, but I think that's a good question. I think it's just you got to understand that we was here. We won 2 games in Denver and then came here and got spanked the next 3 games in a row. So I think it should be easy for us now to understand, like, just because we beat these guys don't mean that we're going to beat them again. We got to come out and play with the same level of aggression. And if we do that, we'll be successful.
And you
going down? Oh, I'm feeling good. Yeah. My tailbone pretty much. Yeah.
That was pretty much going to be my question. Just what was the moment, like for you, just being on the ground, like you were there for a minute, the crowd hushed, your teammates crowded around you. Were you just trying to gather sort of like the shock of the moment? Yeah,
I mean, I fell pretty hard. And I'm used to falling like that in football when I got on pads and stuff, so I'm well protected. I didn't have any pads on tonight, so I felt that one for sure. So, yeah, I mean, it took some time for me to get used to the pain, but, I'm good now.
And talk about the decision to put Karl Anthony Towns on Jokic, and how do you think that impact?
He's been guarding him. He's been guarding him the whole series. Yeah. He's been doing an outstanding job the whole series. Yeah, that's always been a matchup. Every time we come out, Cat is on Jokic, so it wasn't new today. I think the main thing today was his ass stayed out of foul trouble like I told him in the Phoenix series. That was all that was. Yeah, I mean, I cussed him out. Every chance I get, bro. Stop fucking fouling. Like, I think you guys see it. Like, if Cat don't foul, we pretty much can win the game every time. And tonight, I mean, he had 3 fouls, but he only had 3. He didn't have 5. So I told him today, like, we thankful that you didn't foul, because if you foul, we lose. Because you're the best matchup we got for Jokic. Like, you do the best job on him. You know what I mean? We come in a double, but you do the best job standing up to his first dribble. And he did that tonight, man. He only took 10 shots. We counted on him making the right play. This morning, we was all on him, like, bro, you got to make the right play. We're going to play off of you in the post tonight. Like, they have no matchup. And he did an outstanding job of just making that easy pass. And when they don't double, he was aggressive. And, yeah, man, Cat played great tonight on both sides of the ball.
And you talked about the frustration after the 3 games. Was that a new experience for this group in terms of being low in big-time games like this? And is there, like, growth and kind of a maturity that comes with coming out?
I mean, honestly, man, I don't think we was low. I mean, from hearing the guys throughout the gym and shoot around before game 5, before this game, nobody was like down on themselves, you know, pretty much. I think we always believed that we could compete with this team, and it showed tonight. I mean, it showed tonight, man. We played great as a team.
Everyone knows you can score. What kind of pride, or how did you embrace the challenge of checking, guarding Jamal as much as you did?
It's what I look forward to. I think I don't know how long ago I said I want to be the best player on both sides of the ball in the NBA. And like I told her, I think it was probably 2 years ago. It's something that I've been working on. And it always comes with being in shape. And it seems like towards the end of the season, I always tend to get in my best shape. And I wasn't tired at all chasing him around and following him everywhere he went and contesting all his shots. And he's a great player, man. And I feel like I did a good job tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a cool comment from Anthony about like the whole leadership in the locker room, on the court, right? We have a bevy of leaders, and you can even say Rudy Gobert is a leader. We have coaching staffs as a group, as a unit. It's not one, and like the family arc line of the Ryan Saunders and David Adelman and all that stuff, right? It's like it's a group of leaders, and it's a think tank in a lot of ways. And then here emerges like a young stud, willing to take and accept all this responsibility, willing to take and accept all blame, and not like deflect onto others. And actually, I love his humor and his way of going about answering these kind of questions, because it's like, these questions are kind of like nonsense, and he like takes it in stride, and like, yeah, cat fouling was a big part of, and is a big bugaboo about Cat. And it's now like virally, not just him playing, but it's like now virally commented on by his leader, like Ant, who has taken over this team. I feel like, yeah, Jokic as a leader is like play by example, and he plays by getting involved. But he's not like shouting at his teammates. He's not like bringing up through words of encouragement. It has to be from others.
Yeah.
Jamal is not a leader. Who is the leader on that team? So that's the kind of looking deep within. It's probably DeAndre Jordan of all people. Honestly, it's so like embarrassing to say out loud.
That's true,
right? And like there's probably a Malone aspect to it as well.
What?
Yeah, like by having your best star, like getting coached hard, and then also like leading by example by playing both sides. It's like I would hate to play with. This is super biased because I'm obviously not the biggest LeBron fan. I would hate to play with LeBron. Because several times it's just him versus the world because he wants the attention. It's him not playing defense because he's taking time off and he's taking plays off. And I, minimum contract me, have to play as hard as possible just to get another minimum contract. The leaders on the court really show and pronounce and like push for your chances. But also like the leaders on the court give you an ample chance to find success. I really like love that answer because it's also like potentially like propping up Cat with the commentary about with the fouls, right? He's propping up his teammates.
He has the perfect rapport with Cat. He's worked with him for years now, to the point where he can say something like this on the national stage, which is going to be talked about. It's going to be clipped. You're going to see YouTube shorts, TikToks, everything about it everywhere. Towns is going to go about his normal life, just open up his phone and see a quote from Anthony Edwards. He's going to see videos pop up of Ant saying "Stop fucking fouling" about him. So like a lot of people, and I think that goes to both Towns and his like ability to take that criticism, but also Ant's ability to lead by build in a way that you could like other teammates could say that, and people would be going crazy because like if like think back to the Utah days, like if Mitchell would have said something like this about Rudy, there's problems. Like this is not acceptable.
Actually, kind of started happening too, by the way.
And then what happened? All the beef about them. Yeah, exactly. Immediately after that. So, this is an example of one that works because Towns is, we've kind of been a little annoyed at Towns because in interviews and stuff like that, he always says the right thing. Like today, he's talking about like we got to play our brand of basketball, which he has said for 7 years, and it's like we've never had like a consistent brand of basketball. But like in interviews, he's always saying the right things. But he also is like he can accept that criticism. Like, he may not be coachable, but he can accept that criticism and not take it as like a jab at him, you know? So like that's a positive from him. So I don't know. This is just a good thing to see. And yeah, seeing that they maybe don't have a leader on the other side, you know, that's even more reason to come out so strong in the beginning, because if they don't have a leader on that team that's as strong as like Ant is for us, that's like a problem. Because they're gonna need to fall back on their leader. Let's say they go down by 10 early in the first quarter. It's a game 7. This isn't like we'll catch up and figure it out. I mean, maybe, but like there's a lot more pressure on that. So make it messy, see what can happen, and then that'll be awesome.
I like that. I like what you said. Like, yeah, make it messy, make it hurt. Like offense is always going to beat good defense, but like our defense feels our offense, and if they are just like what they showed in these last couple of games defensively, because like I wouldn't say that they were remarkable defensively in Game 5, but we were just missing shots in a lot of ways. Like, yeah. Like, I feel like we have it, man, and like, yeah, Cat outside right now signing autographs is awesome. It's like a nice, like, yeah, I don't know. Our team is fun to root for. Like, I would feel so weird to root for a team that's like, you know, foul merchants and like, you know, like our stars are flopping for calls, and maybe they are a little bit, but like I'm not really seeing it because I'm a biased Wolves fan. I'm not really seeing it, you know, and like I even feel like we play defense the right way. We're not like, you know, hacking, kicking people in the groin like Draymond Green and like choking people. Like, we're playing the right way. I feel maybe there's some things that I'm missing.
Yeah, no.
But like it's like it's really fun to root for, and also it's really exciting to get excited about defense, because like so often the only highlights you see are just like transition layups and transition dunks and like threes from fucking or from the logo. And like that's like everyone can actually do that, but can you also play the other side of the ball? That we're showing both camaraderie, unity, and teamwork builds into this, manifests into defense, manifests into a unit that's on a string. It's really exciting, man. Like, it's what a time to be alive as a Wolves fan, man. Lots of suffering, but man, Game 7, we have all we're asking for is a chance. Someone said that an hour and a half ago. All we're really asking for is a chance. We got that chance. Game 7.
We did. We got the chance. Couple things to note. Steve with the clutch betting. Denver is 4.5-point favorites right now. See if that moves. See if that doesn't move. I mean, honestly, obviously the lines have been all over the place for this matchup because every home team has lost basically until just the last 2 games. So yeah, that's weird. Also, this is looking forward. Obviously, we're getting a little greedy here.
We can
get greedy. But by the way, if this is by Crone, shout out Crone. If we survive Sunday and Dallas wins, then we have home court to start the Western Conference Finals. Oh, man.
Wow.
Crazy. I see this Game 7 plus Nas Reed, 2 best 2-word combos. That's amazing. Gosh.
Like, this is it. This is for all the marbles.
Yeah, what do you do in a game? I mean, guess what? We are more, actually, in a way, we might be more experienced in win or go home games than Denver, because we've had the play-in that we've had to go through a couple of years. So we have these games of win or go home, given they're against the 10th seed and not the 2 seed. But hey, it's an advantage. The play-in does something for us. That's why we celebrated so much when we won them.
That's a sick comment. Like, I applaud that, because like, they were down 0-2, which wasn't an elimination game. They came ready, right? They slapped us, but like also like we did it to ourselves, and we got the early foul trouble and stuff like that. So Game 3 was close, but then we unraveled a little bit in our own way, not throwing heat packs or shout out heat packs. But yeah, like elimination game, playing games, those are like win or lose, win or go home. We've seen a lot more of that. That's an awesome observation here, because like we're gonna be ready, more prepared than they are. And they're
Wolves,
gonna feel comfortable. Like, hey, they're gonna like scoff at this game. Yeah. Look at them overdoing it for a 40-point game. They're still throwing their starters in.
Yeah, they could.
Maybe.
And I mean, you know, of course, I know that Denver's going to come ready to play on Sunday, but like, you know, we play up for these big games. So this is not like, and I know we've already been playing really well. I mean, we're in the playoffs, but this is for all the marbles. I mean, this is seriously like, hey, the outcome of this game determines both teams' fate. So like this is big. Back-to-back play-in champs, adding a Game 7 Western Conference semifinal. Yes, I was like, what does that stand for?
What is this?
Yeah, no, we haven't been here enough to know what it's a semifinal instead of the conference final.
Of course, Jerry, we got to speak into existence. Yeah, just looking forward a little bit. If we play Dallas, which looks like it would be the reality if we win Game 7, home court advantage.
I'm rooting for OKC. I want to have home court advantage, but it would I think it'd be more fun I think that would be fun. I think that would be more box office, I guess, because there's been this like rivalry between OKC and the Timberwolves, and also I just think that those two teams maybe deserve it more than the others, but maybe the Mavs.
Yeah, maybe.
The Mavs haven't had success since 2011 or whatever that was, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Dallas has been talked about a lot more.
They have Dallas, and also Dallas looks really good. Like I was watching them the last couple games, and I'm like, oh no, I slept on Dallas. Like they kind of had people were saying that to the end of the season, and I wasn't listening. I'm sorry, but like they kind of have everything, and that's very scary. Also, more importantly, they have Daniel Gafford, which is extremely triggering for Timberwolves fans to hear. So that'd be bad. Yeah, Luka v. Luka. I'm for that.
I'm picking Luka, I think
I'm picking Luka as well. Cool. Well, it's not the last stream. How about that? We still have at least one more stream.
When you said that, I was like, oh man, the reality hit.
I know. I was that's why I said that. I was like realizing, oh man, this could actually be like second to last or whatever. But it still could be the last one on Sunday. But regardless, this is fun. We got to go to a 7-game series, push the champions to the brink of elimination, if not eliminate them. And as we just kind of said, we're kind of feeling good. We're feeling good about our chances. So
no reverse sweep.
No reverse sweep. That's big for the mental, I think. And just going forward, going into next seasons or whatever. But 11th to the last stream of the season. Yes. 9 more wins is possible. Oh my goodness. Do you have anything else before we say goodbye?
No, it was an awesome win. To a large point, like I got over like my feelings right in before this game, and this game just brought the energy up, and I just like, man, ready for Game 7. Can't do without you guys though.
Super excited for Game 7. I cannot wait. Game 7, Timberwolves. This is what we do it for. 9 more wins. Intro as the outro. We will see you. We don't know the time of the game, actually. Sorry, I know I was just about to. That was so smooth, and I ruined it. We still don't know the time of the game on Sunday. Yeah, it still has not been announced. But the first game,
or
7? there's well, I guess we won't know actually, because we have to determine if the Pacers Knicks are going to go to 7 as well.
That's tomorrow, right?
Yeah. So if the Pacers win, then they're going to go to 7, and then they'd play at 2:30 Central on Sunday. But if they don't play, then we might play at 2:30 Central, or maybe we play at like 5. I don't know, whatever. I don't think it'll be a super late game regardless. I don't think they're going to break it up like that. It's also Sunday, so they like to play games early. Anyways, Sunday afternoon, evening, somewhere in that realm. We will see you back then. Intro as the outro. Like the stream. We will see you Sunday sometime. See you.
This is what movies is made of. This is what movies is made of.